Hi, welcome to day 60 in our Bible in a Year reading. We are in Numbers 14, 15, and then we jump into Psalms 90, which is a psalm of Moses. Now, in Numbers 14, it's hard. We are seeing the outcome of the people after hearing the spies' report. And again, 12 spies went into the promised land. 10 came back with a fearful message of the giants in the land, and only two, Joshua and Caleb, came back in faith, knowing that God would give them victory. But the Israelites fell into fear. Their hearts clenched in fear. They spoke of going back to Egypt and returning there with a new leader. They complained about even being brought out into the desert. They have forgotten all that God's done for them up until this point. And all they can see before them and all they can hear is that if they go into the promised land, they'll lose their lives, they'll lose their families. So why would they come this far? Why would God bring them here? And how often do we do that? Where God has been so faithful to us through the years and brought us through so much, but then we face a new hurdle and trial and we just look at it through fear and forget all that God's done. But Moses cries out to God on behalf of the Israelites, and the Lord relents, and he promises to allow them into that and sustain his covenant with them. But it wouldn't be them who entered, it would be their children. And for 40 years, 1 year for every day the spies were in the land, they would wander in the desert because of their unbelief, because of their fear. And only Joshua and Caleb, who chose faith over fear, had the promise of the promised land ahead of them. May we too choose faith over fear and remember all God's done. May we have garments with tassels, so to speak, that remind us and we remember because we are so quick to forget. Then in Psalms 90, we read Moses' psalm, and he says, "Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom." He looks at the brevity of man and the enduringness of God and asks God to help us remember and number our days well. What stood out to you? Let's learn and grow together.